Welcome back to Inside Chlorpromazine, where we dwell deep into the science, mechanisms, and potential applications of chlorpromazine. In a previous episode, we have explored its immune modulating properties and its role in managing cytokine storm in COVID-19 and long COVID. But today, we are going to shift gears and dive into a new territory, that is, the antiviral properties of chlorpromazine. Could this decades-old drug have a role to play in directly fighting viral infections, particularly COVID-19? I'm thrilled to be joined by Chaitanya, a microbiology researcher with expertise in viruses, infectious diseases, and antiviral therapies. Welcome back, Chaitanya, and thank you for being here.
My pleasure. This is such a fascinating area of research, especially considering how rapidly the landscape of antiviral treatments is evolving. Chlorpromazine's antiviral potential is something that deserves more attention.
Let's kick things off by discussing how chlorpromazine could exert antiviral effects. We know it's primarily used for psychiatric disorders, but recent studies suggest it might have antiviral activity. Can you walk us through the science of how this might work?
Certainly, chlorpromazine, like other synthesizes, is a dopamine receptor antagonist, which primarily impacts on the central nervous system. However, its ability to inhibit cellular processes goes beyond just dopamine receptors. One of the key ways chlorpromazine might exert antiviral effects is by disrupting the endocytic pathway, which is how viruses typically enter cells. Chlorpromazine has been shown to block the acidification of endosmosis, which is necessary for certain viruses to uncoat and release their genetic material into the host cell. By interfering with this step, chlorpromazine essentially prevents the virus from hijacking the host cell machinery to replicate. In particular, chlorpromazine has demonstrated activity against RNA viruses such as influenza, Zika, and SARS-CoV-2. It appears to inhibit viral entry and replication by disrupting the viral life cycle at the entry phase, which is crucial for stopping the virus before it can establish infection.
Now that we have touched on its general antiviral properties, let's zoom it on SARS-CoV-2, the virus behind the COVID-19 pandemic. What does this research say about chlorpromazine's impact on this particular virus?
SARS-CoV-2, like other viruses, uses endocytosis to enter host cells. Specifically, it utilizes the ACE2 receptor to gain entry into the cell, particularly in the respiratory tract. Chlorpromazine has been shown in lab studies to interfere with endocytic process, thus reducing viral entry into host cells. Several studies have suggested that chlorpromazine could reduce SARS-CoV-2 replication by blocking viral fusion with the cell membrane and inhibiting viral uncoating. In a cell culture model, chlorpromazine was found to significantly reduce viral load, preventing the virus from multiplying within infected cells. Furthermore, its ability to disrupt the host immune response by modulating cytokine release could potentially help in managing not only viral entry but also the inflammatory damage caused by the infection. These properties make chlorpromazine an intriguing candidate for repurposing in the treatment of COVID-19.
While SARS-CoV-2 is the virus we have all been focusing on lately, chlorpromazine has demonstrated activity against other viruses as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. Chlorpromazine has been shown to have broad spectrum antiviral activity. Its effects on viral replication have been studied against several viruses, including influenza, a Zika virus, and dengue virus. These viruses, like SARS-CoV-2, rely on the host cell machinery for replication, and chlorpromazine's ability to block viral entry or endosomal acidification can be effective against them. For instance, in influenza, chlorpromazine has been shown to reduce viral replication by interfering with the virus' ability to enter host cells. Similarly, it has demonstrated activity against Zika virus, where it reduced the viral load in infected cells by blocking viral entry. This broader antiviral property potential suggests that chlorpromazine could be an important repurposed drug in the fight against emerging viral threats or even future pandemics, given its ability to target common steps in the viral life cycle.
Given its potential in treating SARS-CoV-2, what about other viral infections? Could chlorpromazine play a role in treating diseases like HIV, hepatitis, or even herpes?
While chlorpromazine is not typically used to treat viral infections like HIV or hepatitis, its antiviral activity opens up some possibilities. For instance, HIV relies on a complex process of viral entry, fusion, and integration into the host genome. So, chlorpromazine, with its ability to disrupt viral entry, might have some indirect benefits in terms of reducing viral load. Similarly, for hepatitis viruses, particularly hepatitis C, which relies on endocytosis to enter liver cells. Chlorpromazine's ability to block this process could potentially provide a therapeutic advantage. Though this is more speculative at this stage, it could be an interesting area of for future research. As for herpes virus such as HSV1 or HSV2, these viruses also use cellular entry mechanisms that could theoretically be disrupted by chlorpromazine. However, more research is needed to explore its efficacy in these areas, and clinical trials would be essential to evaluate its potential.
Despite its promising antiviral properties, there are some limitations and challenges in using chlorpromazine, especially as a treatment for viral infections. Can you discuss these?
Absolutely. While chlorpromazine have shown some promise in the laboratory, there are several key challenges in its potential use as an antiviral treatment. First, chlorpromazine is a psychiatric medication that can have significant side effects, especially when used at high doses or for extended periods. Common side effects include sedation, weight gain, and movement disorder like tardive dyskinesia. These effects would need to be carefully managed if chlorpromazine were to be used in viral infections, particularly in long-term treatments. Second, its antiviral efficacy in clinical settings needs to be further evaluated. While laboratory studies are promising, there's lack of large-scale clinical trials to confirm its effectiveness against a broad range of viruses. Without solid clinical evidence, it's hard to recommend it's an frontline antiviral treatment. Lastly, there is the issue of drug interactions. Chlorpromazine could interact with a number of other medications, especially those used in the treatment of viral infections or other conditions. This makes it difficult to use in combination with other antiviral or immunomodulatory therapies.
Much more to explore in this area. While the challenges in using it as an antiviral treatment, its broad spectrum antiviral properties could make it a valued repurposed drug in future treatments for viral infections. Thank you so much, Chaitanya, for sharing your insights on this fascinating topic. In a final episode, we look at the future of chlorpromazine in both psychiatric and infectious disease treatment. How might this old drug revolutionize modern medicine? Thanks for listening to Inside Chlorpromazine, and we'll see you in our next episode.